And we have winter storm watches and warnings and advisories in our area. We'll break it all down for you.
3 deputies are shot following a car chase near Dodge City, Kansas. And the Northeast Oklahoma School District holds a public meeting to discuss a proposed bond for a new gym.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A winter storm is going to be moving through the 4 states in less than 24 hours. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go straight to meteorologist Sam Lane with a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Dow. Yeah, we've been poring over the data all day today, and it looks like things are starting to get more in agreement, and we'll talk about that in our main forecast. But right now, I do want to show that the winter storm warnings are in effect for parts of our area, especially along and south of I-44. That includes Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties in Missouri, Delaware County in Oklahoma, and Benton County in Arkansas. Winter storm watch in effect for Ottawa and Craig County, as well as Mays. Those could be included in the warning later on, and then winter weather advisories for all the other counties in our area. So it's going to be a widespread event across our region. All right, we're going to start out with rain tomorrow afternoon, and then that rain will start to change over to some snow by the time we go into rush hour, and then of course a big winter storm Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And I'll be back with all the details on the snowfall accumulations when we have main weather in just a little bit.
All right, we'll see you then. 3 deputies were hurt and a suspect was killed in a shootout near Dodge City, Kansas. Authorities say it started when deputies tried to stop a vehicle driven by a wanted suspect, 39-year-old, out of Phoenix, Arizona this morning. He drove off and they chased him. Deputies from another county and highway patrol troopers joined the chase. Gunfire was exchanged when the suspect stopped his vehicle. He was shot and killed. A woman in his vehicle was also shot and is in critical condition. Of the 3 deputies hit by gunfire, 2 were in serious condition. A third was in good condition. Authorities in Wilson County, Kansas have arrested a former Neodesha music teacher for child sex crimes. Authorities say last April, 28-year-old Quentin Bachhold tried to entice a child to perform sexual acts and was found in possession of child pornography. He's charged with 19 counts of sexual exploitation of a child and 1 count of electronic solicitation of a child. Bachhold was the band director for the Neodesha School District at the time, though he is no longer employed by the district. Today is the first day to electronically file your taxes with the IRS. A Joplin tax expert says some people might be surprised with refunds this year. There was a law in place for the year 2020 that increased refunds through child tax credits, earned income tax credit, and stimulus. That law did not get renewed for the 2022 tax year. Vita is located in Joplin at the Great Plains Federal Credit Union. It's a free tax preparation for qualified taxpayers. A group of retired tax professionals volunteer their time to help the 4 states.
Everyone that works here is dedicated to helping the community, and they love it. Every one of us loves this and enjoys the work here. And all I can say is they've got a lot of pride in the service here.
Vita is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This year's filing deadline is April 18th. A Lebanon, Missouri woman received a frightening phone call from a person claiming to be a sheriff's deputy. She shares her story with reporter Marina Silva so you don't fall for the same trick.
He was so intimidating and believable.
Melissa Hilton lives in Laclede County. She was at a conference this week in Kansas City when she got the disturbing phone call.
He had told me that I had been subpoenaed on December 7th at 1:32 p.m. and gave me the case numbers for that. And it was a federal court case. And that I had failed to appear on the subpoena.
It's a scam going around Laclede County. The caller is likely using an app to spoof the phone call and make it look like it's coming from a Laclede County Sheriff's Office number. And they're doing it all with the push of a button.
This particular scam, and there's so many that we tend to go through, it just cycles through, is that they're calling, identifying them as a deputy or an employee of the Sheriff's Office, and they're actually using the name of a former employee that worked here prior to me coming into office.
Real sheriffs say, do not be fooled. They will not call ahead if you have a warrant. You cannot take care of the matter over the phone.
We're going to come get you, and we're certainly never going to ask you to pay through a gift card or make any type of payment because we're not in the payment business. I don't know that there's a rhyme and a reason why they're targeting these people.
I'm not really scared as far as because now that I've kind of gotten over it and everything, it does worry me that he knows so much about me.
The bad guys have some basic info, but fortunately, Melissa hung up before the fraudsters stole her ID.
Here's some ways to dodge scam calls. Don't answer calls from unknown numbers. When you pick up, crooks know it's a working number and they will keep calling. Also, join both no-call lists. There are two, state and federal. A 50-year-old school gymnasium was the subject of a South Coffeyville, Oklahoma school board public meeting today. The board is seeking a $1 million bond to fund the construction of a new gymnasium. It would be paid for with a mill rate increase for taxpayers over a 10-year period. The superintendent says the current gym has some problems.
It is a nice gym. The seating is limited, but we have basketball games. It's standing room only. We have to refurnish the floor at least once a year. We probably should do it twice a year because we have pre-K through 12th grade gym classes in here every day. So this thing is used all day long.
The school board has not yet determined the site of the proposed gym. Joplin schools are testing a new pilot program for incoming kindergarten-age students. It's called SOAR, and it'll begin this fall. SOAR is designed for kids with later birthdays, typically June or July, and those who might not have access to preschool. Officials say these kids might not have the same development as some of their peers, so SOAR is going to give them a kindergarten-like setting to reach certain goals. School officials say students participating in high-quality early childhood education are more likely to graduate high school and, on average, score higher on tests. Coming up, the FBI investigates the loss of campaign funds for a Kansas U.S. Senator. Plus,
police released new details about the weapon used in Saturday's mass shooting. I'm Max Darrow in Monterey Park, California, with the latest on the investigation and the search for a motive.
the FBI is investigating how cyber criminals stole nearly $700,000 from a Kansas U.S. Senator's campaign. Someone sent Kansas Republican Jerry Moran's campaign fraudulent invoices last fall, and the campaign's accounting firm wired $690,000 to pay them. That's according to a federal election commission filing. A Moran campaign spokesperson says the incident was reported to law enforcement as soon as it was discovered. About $168,000 has been recovered. The gunman in Saturday's mass shooting at a Southern California dance studio is dead. Officials are calling a 26-year-old a hero after he likely stopped an attack at a second location. That first shooting, which came during a Lunar New Year's celebration, left 11 people dead, 9 others injured. As reporter Max Darrow reports, the area's Asian American community is shaken and left wondering why.
The community of Monterey Park, California is searching for answers after a shooting massacre during a Lunar New Year celebration.
What drove a madman to do this, we don't know. But we intend to find out.
Police say 72-year-old Hu Can Tran used a semi-automatic pistol equipped with a large capacity magazine to attack the Star Dance Studio.
Investigators recovered a total of 42 shell casings.
Sheriff's deputies searched his home in a gated senior community about an hour away.
I thought he was a nice guy.
Resident Bill Perry says Tran was quiet and unsuspecting.
He was not a very outgoing person as far as that goes, except on the dance floor. That's who he was.
This is America's 33rd mass shooting this month. Those killed ranged in age from their 50s to their 70s.
She enjoyed her last dance, even though it was her last dance.
65-year-old Mei Mei Nan was killed in her car shortly after leaving the ballroom. Fonda Kwan is her niece.
What if we did Lunar New Year dinner and she might have not gone?
After the shooting, Tran went to a second dance hall. 26-year-old Brandon Say wrestled the gun away from him. He told ABC's Good Morning America he thought he was going to die.
Something came over me. I realized I needed to get the weapon away from him.
Tran got away, but police say about 12 hours later he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound as officers closed in. Max Darrow, CBS News, Monterey Park, California.
The LA County Sheriff says Tran had items in his home that led police to believe the suspect was manufacturing homemade firearm suppressors. A little bit later, the Mount Vernon girls basketball team cancels their season early. We're going to hear from Missouri Southern guard Lacey Stokes on the decision.
And we're looking at radar as well as the new data coming in on the big storm that's moving our direction. We'll have all the details when we come back. Well, friends, we've been talking about this winter storm for several days now, and it is now finally here. It's going to start moving in later on tomorrow. Let's take a look outside right now in Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. No snow on the ground just yet, but that's going to be changing in about 24 hours. There's going to be plenty of snow on the ground, especially for those folks down in Seneca, Missouri. Let's take a look at the almanac. This afternoon, we made it up to 45, which was actually right normal. A little bit below on the low, 21. The normals are 25. And of course, we weren't anywhere near those records set back in the 1960s. Here's a look at the radar right now. It's all clear. Nothing really going on. However, we do have winter weather advisories in effect for a large chunk of our area. Winter storm watch for Ottawa and Craig counties, and then warnings basically along and south of I-44. That includes Delaware, Benton, McDonald, Newton, and Berry and Lawrence counties in our area. And it's all because of this big, powerful storm that is now spinning over the New Mexico-Arizona state line. That is moving to the east. And as it moves into Texas, it's then going to pivot and turn more northeasterly, go across the Arklatex into central and southeastern Arkansas. And that places us in the perfect zone of the heavy snow right behind that surface low. So we're going to watch it very closely. Temperatures right now are cold enough for snow. It's generally around 32 degrees across the region. Notice our winds are starting to turn around to the south in our area. That's going to be bringing up some moisture. And temperatures this evening are generally actually about a degree or two warmer than they were 24 hours ago, but we're still going to be seeing the snow move in regardless. Dew points are in the 20s and 30s, and so the atmosphere is pretty much saturated or close to it. And once the storm moves in, it's got lots of moisture to work with, generating quite a bit of snow. Right now it's freezing in Joplin. South wind at 3, feels like 32 out there. The dew point's 25, and the pressure is currently steady. Here's the precipitation chances and the timeline. Notice as we go through the day, rain chances will be early in the day, then it will be switching over to a mixture around rush hour, and then all snow after that, all the way until Wednesday morning. Let's break it down for you on the map. You can see temperatures tonight are going to be in the 20s and 30s. Notice the precipitation by 7 a.m. tomorrow will start to be advancing into Oklahoma. Then that will spread across our area, and then we'll see the switch over around 4 to 5 o'clock with snow flying, especially in Oklahoma. Then as we go through the evening hours, the entire area starts to see the snow heavy at times, especially along and south of I-44. Then as we go into Wednesday morning, the snow starts to depart a little bit. We still have some flurries in the area with temperatures right around freezing. And then Wednesday afternoon, northwesterly winds coming across that snowpack with temperatures in the 30s. And then by Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we'll see temperatures dropping into the 20s with all the snow on the ground. How much snow? Well, how about a foot? Not here in Joplin, but down in Arkansas. That's where the best chance of that is. We're going to be around 6 inches, I think, here in the metro area. Lighter amounts back to the north and west. But look at this, about 8 inches or so in the southern portions of our viewing area. Here's the next 7 days. If you don't like this storm system, just wait till the next one. That'll be arriving next weekend with maybe another chance of winter mix precipitation as well. And then Dow, we start to go back into the deep freeze. Some of the model data indicates we could be looking at bitter cold early next week. So winter is here to stay.
I guess so. We knew it was going to have to return.
Yeah, it was going to happen eventually. Yep.
Thanks. With 8 games left in the season, Mount Vernon, Missouri's girls basketball team canceled the rest of their season due to a lack of players. 2 years ago, the team finished as runners-up for a state title, and now they don't even have enough players to fill the roster. Officials cited multiple issues, but they say the main factor was injuries. Reporter Michael Hoffman spoke to former and current athletes, including Missouri Southern's Lacey Stokes, on the decision.
It's definitely upsetting.
Lacey Stokes is a former Mount Vernon athlete. She's one of the best from the state runner-up team in 2021. She says it's heartbreaking.
I definitely feel bad, for the girls and the coaches as a whole, and even all of the other kids who are in high school, going to games and playing in games. It's something you look forward to with your high school experience.
In a Facebook post, Mount Vernon posted this. saying in part, attempting to continue to play competitive varsity basketball with a reduced number of available players places our team in a very difficult situation. Therefore, it is with a heavy heart that we make this decision for the well-being of our student athletes. The team started the year with 10 players. It finished with just 5 remaining. The school's activity director says it's mainly due to injuries.
It just happens to be we have a small number of young ladies who are involved in our basketball programs or in our basketball program, and we have had a couple of injuries that have caused us to have to make a decision like this.
Mount Vernon student athlete Peyton West added that it can hurt to put in a season's worth of work just to get the rug pulled out from under you.
Well, I know how hard it is whenever you put all of this work into playing a sport just to kind of feel like it's almost not, like you can't do it anymore.
Lacey says to the students on the fence about playing next year, if you put the work in, it will be worth it.
I would say just step up and, there's girls who probably don't want to play, but you just got to try and pull and be like, hey, like, this is something we can do together. We can make it fun. Like, you just have to, not everyone's going to be, their basketball's not going to be something they just love to do, but you can make it fun if you can get girls to buy in to just an experience together and working hard for one another and working hard for your coach.
The activities director says the team will also cancel its junior varsity season, but Johnston remains confident that they will have an uninterrupted schedule in the 2023-2024 season. Still ahead, the Kansas City Chiefs are one win away from returning to the Super Bowl. We're going to hear from the team on their AFC Championship showdown with those Cincinnati Bengals. And the Missouri Southern Lions hit the court for a conference doubleheader against Lincoln. Jacob Leonard has the highlights and more up next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are at home tonight, hosting a conference doubleheader against Lincoln. On the women's side, the Lions have gotten on a roll in the last 2 weeks, winning 4 straight games to get to 16-4 overall this season. The Southern 8-4 in the MIAA, trying to stay hot tonight, and the Blue Tigers their 3rd straight loss. Really hot start for Southern. Lacey Stokes, the defender, flies right on by. Stokes hits the short jumper. She leads MSSU with 15 tonight. Then Caitlin Honeycutt open for 3 on the far side. She knocks it down. Finally, Haley Grant, great spin move in the lane, finishes and the foul. Lions up 10 after the first. Grant, nice night, 11 points, 7 boards. To the second quarter, more from Southern. Maddie Stokes, pretty easy too. Stokes gets 14 points, 9 rebounds. It's Lions by 19 at halftime. And they would finish this thing off in the third. Cameron Call drills the deep ball. All Southern in this one. They lead from start to finish and win 84-45.
The message was really just don't take our foot off the gas. We've been in a little bit of a slump lately as a team, and for us to come out and just kill it in the first half and then come back out and do the same thing in the second half was really big for us, and I think it's going to give us a lot of momentum to finish out this week and go into next.
We have a couple big games coming up that we needed to get the ball rolling to go into the next games with lots of confidence, knowing that our defense is good and that we're going to shut people down. So getting that win tonight and really coming out and playing good defense, it just really helps us get going for the rest of our season.
After that, the Southern men hit the floor against Lincoln, aiming for their 9th win in the last 11 games. First half, Christian Bundy working in the lane. Nice finish with the left. He leads Southern with 17, but Lincoln up 7 at the under 10 timeout. The Lions trying to hang around. Vincent Sigmund Jr. Pull-up 3 is good. He scores 16 for Moso. Now, Lincoln played well in the first half, though. 3 goes down here. Blue Tigers were up by as much as 15. Southern, though, climbs back in it. Right before the half, Avery Taggart beats the buzzer. He scores 11, but the Lions comeback falls just short tonight. Lincoln wins 84-79. The Kansas State Wildcats move up the national rankings this week. The Wildcats are up 8 spots to number 5 in the latest AP poll released today. Last week, K-State beat rival Kansas and then Texas Tech. And now they're all alone at the top of the Big 12 standings. KU, by the way, slips from number 2 down to number 9. They lost that game to K-State Tuesday, then got drilled by TCU on Saturday. Kansas is 1 game behind K-State for first place in the Big 12. The Kansas City Chiefs are back in the AFC Championship game for the 5th consecutive season. The Chiefs host the Bengals on Sunday with the winner advancing to Super Bowl 57. Now, Sunday's game It's a rematch of last year's AFC Championship, and no doubt a matchup of two of the best quarterbacks in the league. Joe Burrow is already 5-1 in the playoffs in his career for Cincy, and last week threw for 2 touchdowns, was only sacked once in a blowout win over Buffalo.
Yeah, he's a strong kid. You know, he is elusive, and you've got to make sure that you wrap him up. I mean, Chris probably said it the best. He was the one out there, you know, working it, and yeah, no, he's a heck of a football player.
I'm excited for this game on Sunday. I hope it lives up to the hype. Not like that Buffalo-Cincinnati game we just saw. That wasn't what I thought.
That surprised me. I thought that game would be closer. It's a little scary for Chiefs fans with an injured Mahomes, but you know, you never know. See what happens. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Justin Cox served in the U.S. Army in 2007 and 2008. He served in the 40 ID unit in Camp Taji in Iraq and was awarded the Iraq Campaign Medal with a star and the National Defense Service Medal, and we're proud to salute Justin Cox, a four-state hero. You need to be aware of the fact that we are expecting snow throughout much of the area tomorrow in less than 24 hours.
That's right. And looking at some new data that just came in, it's definitely important for folks to check in with Chris Warner in the morning, as these snowfall amounts are going to likely change, if anything, go on the increase across the Joplin metro area. Right now I'm thinking around 6, but it could be more. And then if we take a look at the extended forecast, you can see another winter storm perhaps next weekend, and then turning much colder after that. So winter is here to stay for a bit.
You need to stay informed. Final sports note.
KU men lost to Baylor tonight 75-69. It's a rare third straight loss for KU basketball.
What's going on with the Jayhawks? Thanks for joining us. Please do be careful out there. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.